Hello there everyone, my name is Johnny and I'm here today to talk to you about my Saberforge Redeemer hilt, the Obi-Wan Kenobi saber from Star Wars Episode 3. Now, a bit of backstory, I loved this lightsaber when I saw it on the screen in Episode 3. I thought it was one of the coolest designs. I love Obi-Wan Kenobi as well, he's like one of my favourite characters in the Star Wars universe. And I've always wanted this hilt. I couldn't find it anywhere in terms of like Hasbro toys, or if it was sort of a very cheap kind of the plastic ones. This wasn't as, the thin, and it wasn't the right design, and I never got to it. I have other master replica lightsabers from sort of 2005-ish when they brought them out. The closest I got to having one similar to this was the Luke Episode 6 saber, which unfortunately broke. I was playing with it too much and we were dueling, which you shouldn't do with those master replicas ones because they're not designed for it. And the hilt broke off inside, the plastic tube broke off inside the top of the hilt on that one. But then I found out about Saberforge and the amazing work they do with any old, any lightsaber you want kind of design. So in this video, I'm not just going to be going through the look and the utility and design of the saber and how mine works and blah blah blah. I'm also going to be talking about, specifically for UK or international customers, shipping, pricing, customs charges, all that kind of thing. So it's all covered, so if you want to buy one of these, then you know exactly what you need to fork out, for example, because it ain't cheap, I'm afraid, but it's the quality you get is what you pay for. So let's talk about the saber design itself. Well, it's gorgeous, basically. It's my favourite design, favourite looking saber from all of Star Wars. I liked Obi-Wan Kenobi's episodes 1 and 2 saber. I thought that looked really good. But then they came out with this. I mean, I've seen this is on, obviously Obi-Wan Kenobi uses this in episode 4, but you don't see it to the extent that you get to see it in episode 3. So I really wanted to have a copy of this, so I went for it as my first Saberforge purchase. Anyway, yeah, no, it's gorgeous, isn't it? There are a couple of design changes from the other Saberforge Redeemers that I've seen, and they include, normally, as with all Saberforge sabers, you get a kill key if you get the Champion Edition or above, which is what I got. There are 4 tiers. There's the Initiate, Hero, Champion, and something, I can't remember. I've got them probably wrong, I'll write them down here. I got the 3rd tier, which is Light and Sound. Now the first tier is just the hilt itself with no electronics in it, and that's the cheapest option. You just pay for the actual saber itself. Then the 2nd tier is the light only, so the saber hilt and the light and a blade only. I think it's with a blade. 3rd tier, which is what I got, sound and light and blade, and the 4th tier is sound, light and blade, multiple colours and multiple what they call fonts, which are just the soundboards with the saber effects in them. So I went for the 3rd tier, which has got the sound and the light on it with the blade. And with these 3rd tier and above, they include a rechargeable port so that you can charge the saber. It's got an inbuilt battery. You don't have to keep taking the battery out and replacing it. You just plug in and it charges it fully without having to mess around taking batteries out. Now, on all other Saberforge Redeemer hilts that I've seen, this is a 2016 version, and all the other ones I've seen, the kill key is here. You normally pull it out and you see the charging port that you can plug in or take the kill key out to do that. But as you can see, it's actually not there. So I had to look for a while hunting around for it, and I realised that you can push this, the ignite button, up, and it shows you, if you look in there, that is the, can you see the kill key just about? This little plastic thing here. So if I pull that out,
Saber core, Viridian.
So it's just this little plastic thing that goes in there to hold it off. Slide that back down, and then to ignite the saber, you just press on it. So I've stepped back a bit so you can see it and hear it better, hear me better. I got the medium blue saber colour with the light font. Now I think, because it doesn't quite explain it on the website, light font means a light sound, so it's quite a light hum if you listen. And then a dark font, I assume, is the lower sounding buzz, and the ignite sound is different as well. So let me turn it off. So this is what I assume the light font ignite sound is. It's like a sharp, like quite high-pitched kind of ignite sound. Press the button and you get sound effects of, it's like an AT-ST kind of cannon shoot, but it also works as a deflect for hitting bolts back, that kind of thing. Now if you look on my wall, that outer purple ring there, that is not as purple in real life as it looks. If anything, that purpley bit is more blue, whereas this sort of stuff up here, I don't know if you can see that, that there is more green looking in real life. So it's not so purple, but it works, it brings the colour in brilliantly, it's awesome. So let me turn it off. Another feature that these sabers have is the ability to plug a blade in. So it's quite a nice polycarbon plastic blade that's designed to be able to hit. I've seen a reviewer, Shameem, he's like wizard on this kind of thing, and he had a version 4 blade of this, which is basically like the 4th iteration. He was hammering the heck out of a tree with it, and you know, it didn't fly off, no bits came off, the tip didn't break, and so it shows how sturdy and robust they are. He was really knocking 7 bells out of this tree, and it was fine. There were a few scuff marks obviously because you're hitting a tree, but so these are designed for actual dueling with someone else. If you know someone else that's got one of these, you can have a duel, and you know, they're under warranty to be able to be, they're solid enough to duel with. If they break, you send it back as it's under warranty, it's free. Now I don't know if you can see it, but that little black mark there, that was already on the blade, and it's for the blade retention screw which holds it into the hilt. So what happens is you line it up with the locking screw there, if you can just about see it, and then push it all the way in till it stops. And they also provide a small Allen key to do this with. So you tighten it up so the blade doesn't come out. I think that's in there okay. See, I can hold it and it'll stay in, and it's just one little screw, it's crazy. So yeah, bearing in mind this is about 11:30 in the morning with the sun coming through. I've had to shut my blinds, but this is how bright this saber goes. It's pretty good. On camera it actually looks like a real lightsaber, it's pretty good. In real life not so much, but what do you expect? So yeah, that looks like a real lightsaber, that's crazy. Down the bottom here you can see they've got, well actually you can't see, but it's about that thick of a gap. There's like a reflective film on the inside to make the LED shoot all the way up. And it does quite a good job actually. Sorry, I'm just looking on the viewfinder on the camera. It does a really good job. And then sometimes it registers the hits. What it is, I think, is the vibration in the hilt itself registers the hits. So if I sort of do, it's more the hilt being hit than the blade, because the idea is the blade makes a, you know, like a vibration all the way down and moves the saber. Anyway, basic standard thing. They come with the 37-inch blade, which is your standard kind of blade size. You can get shorter ones, but the 26-inch is for if you've got a saber staff, because they're supposed to be shorter. And then you can have a tiny little sort of, I can't remember what the size is, but it's about this height perhaps, and that's for if you have a staff coupler. If you're buying, so what it is the staff coupler does, so imagine a saber with the tiny blade, and then in a bit is the staff extension, then the staff coupler, and then mirror it. So it's another staff extension, another saber, another blade. So it's like a pole arm or something, for example. You can find all that on their website. The link's in the description. So yeah, overall, I love this. This is exactly what I wanted. It was amazing. So I purchased my saber, not only the saber itself, but it comes with, as standard, the saber, the kill key, the blade. I thought that they came with a standard US plug, so I ordered a adapter from Amazon, and to my surprise, the one that they sent is actually a UK plug. So I didn't have to have the adapter or anything, and all it does is it just plugs into the kill key slot, like so, To charge it, easy peasy, simple. So you can leave it on the stand to charge at night or after you've used it or whatever, and it's a pretty clever design to have it hidden away under there.
Saberforge Viridian.
I added on a couple of extras just to complete the look because I'm working on an Obi-Wan Kenobi cosplay. So I can keep it so it's not laying down or leaning against the wall. I purchased a stand with it. It's an extra $30. Not sure it's worth $30, but otherwise, you know, it's fine. It's sort of made out of, I don't want to say cardboard because it's not. It's like a coated like I don't know. It's not too. I mean, it does its purpose, you know. But it's an extra $30, which in pounds isn't that much. So if you want to display your saber, you know, or just keep it somewhere safe, I got one of these to put it on, and it rests on like so, carefully. So yeah, you can just rest it on the rest it on your shelf or on your desk or wherever you want. I also added their Covertech system, which is basically, you see this little bit here, that's designed to have the saber on your belt. So this is the new one. They had an originally, it was sort of this size, quite small, and it would have two little grips that would grip the saber when it's in the hilt. So then when you wanted to take it out, you have to push those together to then bring it out. Not ideal if you want to quickly draw it out for a cosplay or whatever. And that hangs it quite well. I've managed to sort of do a light jog with this, and it doesn't really fly out. It's quite stable because it has to be taken out straight, whereas when you're running it's swinging about like this. Otherwise, you know, that's great. And that was an extra $10. They add the knob on the side of the saber anyway, but that's an extra $10 on top. Now, a couple of things I wanted to address. First of all, with the saber itself, it's not a Saberforge thing. It's the design of the actual saber. It's not very comfy for to hold it two-handed. I would naturally hold it sort of in the middle, but the weight is more at the bottom because this part here weighs nothing. So you want to hold it sort of down here, which is quite low around the pommel. It's not very comfy. With the box in the way and the Covertech knob, it makes it really awkward to hold two-handed. So this is more of a, I'd say this is more of a piece to just put up and display as opposed to use practically for fighting. I mean, I've not got very big hands. I don't have the biggest hands out of people I know, and they would struggle to hold this two-handed comfortably. The best way I've found at the moment is actually up here, which isn't how it's meant to be at all. But with the weight of the blade, it balances everything out. The only other thing that Saberforge, I'm guessing it was just in the post, the glue dried out, whatever. Just a tiny little thing. It's got two little covers on here. You see this one's not here, it's here. It just came off when I tried to ignite the saber for the first time. So, you know, it's fine, I can super glue that, that's not a problem. The other thing is with the box actually itself. It just feels a little flimsy. I know that they've done a brilliant job with hiding the kill key, because the kill key used to be here. Can you imagine having to take that out? You have this horrible gap. I know you put your hand over it, but just still for the look of things. So they've hidden it under here, as I showed you before, and just that itself just seems a little flimsy. I'm not sure. It's just a thin bit of card here over the top. But, you know, nothing major. It's not broken yet, so it probably, hopefully won't break. You know, it's fine. These are all little nitpicks, by the way. It's also quite heavy. Like, in terms of, well, it's the quality material, isn't it? That's why it's quite heavy. It's designed, you know, to look the part with the right pieces. So, you know, I'd say, I don't know how much it exactly weighs, but it's, you'll know it's there. Now, with terms of cost and price, for the UK, mine came to, with all the extras and the version I got, the tier that I'd got, mine came to, and postage, sorry, mine came to a total of $444 US. That works out in UK to be about £380. So including delivery, for what you get, it's not too bad. The only problem I had was with shipping and delivery. Now, I think I did what everybody else did. I went and saw episode 7, and I thought, oh my god, that's amazing. Looked up, lightsaber props or people who make lightsabers online. Found Saberforge, got really excited and ordered my saber. I was probably one of a million people that did that because I placed my order at the end of January. Now on the website, it says that it normally takes sort of 4 to 6 weeks manufacturing, and then for international, it's a further week or two. So I was expecting it to be with me by the end of, say, end of March, mid-Feb. End of Feb, mid-March, sorry. I didn't get it until 2 days ago, which was Wednesday the 24th of May. Now, that's purely, I'm guessing, because of the huge demand that they had. I mean, they're amazing. What they make is incredible. I mean, I can understand any Star Wars fan wanting something like this. So if it's available, why would you not do it? But yeah, it took a very long time, and they only got to my order at the end of April. They printed off the shipping label because you can track it online with USPS. They send you a tracking number with your order when you've confirmed the order, and then they send you another when it's shipped. But they class shipped as when they print the shipping label, so it doesn't mean they've even made the saber yet. So, for example, my shipped email came on the 22nd of April. And I didn't get the saber until pretty much a month later. So it was quite a good stint for them between, if you'd taken out the delay time between the end of January and April 22nd, the shipping and manufacturing time was actually quite quick. It came within a month, well, within 30 days or whatever. So that was great. The other thing that I didn't think about until last minute was the customs charges. Now, specifically for people overseas, like international customers, I was constantly keeping an eye on and tracking because I wanted my saber so badly. I was keeping an eye on the tracking information, and it said that it had been delivered to the postal address, the postal centre. So I assumed that meant the post office. So I went there, they said they haven't got a parcel there for me. I should get a card in the post when it's ready. Didn't get a card, and then I got a letter from Parcel Force, who are the ones that turned out to be the ones delivering my saber. And the custom charges overall came to just under £70. It was about 68 something. Which was quite a lot of money, but because of the time gap between when I bought the saber and the time it arrived, I'd had enough money to cover that. But that's just something to bear in mind if you're in the UK specifically. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but I can imagine it's similar. If you're wanting to buy one of these sabers, especially if you're getting an expensive one to start with, the more it costs, the more the customs charges will be. So you just need to keep aware of that if you're tight on money or on a budget. If you get a standard saber, for example, just an initiate hilt with no electronics in it, no blade or anything, I can imagine it won't be much more than £20 customs charge, if that, because, like I said, it costs more depending on how much the item itself cost. Other than that, I love it. There's no other gripes really. Like I said, all the stuff before was nitpicking. I understand things can sort of dry up in the post or in transit or whatever. So yeah, I love it. I really love it, and I'll be using this on my Obi-Wan Kenobi cosplay as soon as it's ready. So thank you very much, Saberforge. Great item, great purchase. 10 out of 10 would again. The wait is totally worth it, you guys. I mean, I was starting to get a bit frantic sort of mid-April, and then they sent the shipping email and I was feeling a bit better about it. But it's just because of the demand. You know, there was so many people ordering sabers sort of over the holiday period when Star Wars came out that, you know, what do you expect? Loads of people wanted it, so there would be a delay. There are only a few of them, you know, it's a little factory in Oregon, you know, so to get something out of it that's like this, I'm just so pleased. So thank you, Saberforge, and yeah, I'll probably buy another one soon when I have the money. Thanks very much, guys. I hope this review was helpful, and if you have any other questions, just drop them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks very much.